And we are back, Cleve Loveland and the Loner Ranger, talking about real estate, talking about mortgages, talking about this red-hot Central Florida real estate market and what is going on out there. You can always call me at the office if you got questions, 407-352-8118. I'll be working this entire Labor Day weekend for all of my sellers and buyers we've got going on out there. Bruce, you wanted to talk about cyber threats.
So, what's really interesting because, we hear more and more about ransomware and cyber threats and malware and all this stuff. And a lot of that is just beyond my comprehension. But it does exist. It's happened to me personally. It's happened to other people that I know. But I saw something on the news on Wednesday about that they're expecting a large amount of cyber crimes to be coming in just this weekend. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that the government knows something that we don't know. But you got to be aware of what you're doing and what you're clicking on. And when I say that, it's really funny because one of the things that I get from clients that I hear all the time is that, I applied for a mortgage, then I got 47,000 mortgage companies calling me about a mortgage. That's because Equifax, TransUnion, and TRW are selling your data. They are selling your data. They went to court, people fought it, and they proved to the courts that your private information is their data. They can sell it.
Yep.
So what they do is they sell. If one mortgage company pulls up your credit, it doesn't matter if you could have 25 other inquiries after that. It will not affect your credit. I'm just going to tell you that. I know that's off the topic, but it doesn't affect your credit. You can have multiple inquiries for a mortgage. Only the first one impacts you. The rest don't for like 45 days. But regardless, you start getting all these phone calls from solicitors. That's because the three companies that monopolize the credit industry are selling your data.
Yeah.
And they're selling it to people that are mortgage companies that prey on that. They're called trigger leads. So your credit was pulled, it triggers it, and then Equifax, or name any of the other ones, TransUnion or Experian, take that data and go, Cleve Loveland has a score of 785, and he just had a mortgage company pull up his credit, or just had a car company pull up his credit. Now, they sell that. They got buyers for that from other mortgage companies that are phone solicitors. They're going to go, Cleve Loveland's got a 785 credit score. His house is worth $750,000, and he might be interested in buying another home.
Yep.
And they start bombarding you. So you're not going to control that unless you opt out of that with the three credit bureaus, which you should do, and opt out of phone solicitation. But here's what you're doing to yourself. Cleve, a lot of people don't know that.
Yep.
Because how many times have you talked to a client and gone, hey, Bill, how do you think your credit is? Well, I think my credit's pretty good, Cleve. I think it's probably around a 750 the last time I checked. Well, how do you know that? Well, because my credit card does this, or I get Credit Karma, or one of these credit reporting agencies. Oh, really? How much do you pay for that? Well, it's free, Cleve. Don't you know?
They're
I don't have to pay anything for it. But wait a minute. They're advertising on every radio station, every TV. Are those ads free? Yeah. Those ads must be free for them to advertise, because where's the money coming from? Here's where the money's coming from, guys. You think you're getting something for free? You have now become the advertisement.
Yep.
They are selling your data off that you think is for free. So when you apply for these free credit report, and I see them all over, and all you guys are getting suckered into it. And it's not your fault. You don't know. But if it sounds too good to be true, it's going to be too good to be true. If it's free, it's never free. It's just not free. Mm-hmm. I don't care. There is no such thing as free. I don't pay your closing costs for free. Neither does anybody else. It's a gimmick. And when you get something for free, you're going to pay for it somewhere else. And that's how your data is being breached. 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. Cleve?
407-352-8118 or cleveloveland.com.
Now, this is our long segment, right?
Okay, good. We're going.
Right?
So I want to talk here. I got some emails talking about, people do all kinds of research when they're picking a financial planner. Hopefully everybody's got one out there. If you don't, give me a call. I know a bunch of good ones. But I've got, real estate planning is something I help people with, Bruce. I manage about 80 properties. Okay. I have my own rental properties. We talk about our Leapfrog system to do that. I help people decide when's it time to get rid of a dog.
Right.
When's it time is that a good one to put into your rental portfolio? Is it time to buy another one? I've got a lot of people they're in their 70s and 80s, and they've done it. They played this game. Their parents taught them this game in the 60s and 70s, and now they're cashing in. And it's beautiful to see.
I have a 90-year-old client I'm working with right now, and this guy is sharp as a tack, and he's still looking at investing in real estate.
Oh my gosh, that's fun. That's wonderful. But at a certain point, sometimes you might want to sell.
You might
those 7 or 8 and go down to 2.
You made the money. Now let's cash in.
1031
and
exchanges, and I sit with people and I talk to them. Say, all right, well, check on these things with your CPA. Tell your financial planner you're going to have $500,000 coming to them. What can they do with it? Answer all these questions. Most realtors don't do this, and I help people with it all the time. And the reason I do it is because I'm also sitting with some people that are flat busted in their 60s and 70s, and all that's coming, they're trying to squeeze every dime they can out of the house because that's it. That plus Social Security. So it's very important. If you need help with real estate or planning what you're going to do, I can help you with that. Resale value can only pick, 3 most important things in real estate besides love land is location, location, location.
It's very
so
true.
Very important. So I see what works and I see what doesn't, and I don't charge anything to help people with it.
No, you don't. And you're very generous about your time. I hear you spend lots of time on consulting with people that may never even have the opportunity or have the need to work with you, but you still go out there and help. And I'm going to tell you something. I do the same thing. Lots of you folks call me, hey, I just wanted to run this one by you, Bruce. I don't have anything to try to sell you. I'm in the mortgage business. Okay, I'm in the mortgage business. But 50% of you that call me for refinancing, I tell you to stay with what you have, but you get convinced by some rocket or some spaceship or some internet guy that convinced you to refinance. I got a client right now. He's refinanced 3 times in the last year and a half, and he thinks he's doing better. I'm like, dude, you have just literally wiped out all the equity that you made on your property. Don't do that. Don't get sucked in for that. If you're thinking about refinancing, there's a 50-50 chance you probably should. You call me to get an honest answer. That's what you do. 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. So we got this cyber threat going on. A lot of the time people are inadvertently or unwittingly doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
We've got to be more cautious about that. Don't just apply for things you don't know where you're going. Don't click on stuff that you're not for sure, right? Know who you're clicking on and responding to. And when it comes to buying a product on the internet, we all do it. I'm using Amazon. You ever buy from Amazon? I do it all the time.
Every day.
I love the convenience. I hate the idea of what that's doing to us. It's like the Zillows of the world. The Zillows of the world, I see all these realtors, they're buying Zillow ads. Zillow will put you out of business as a real estate agent eventually. That's what they want to do. But yet the realtors are buying into their leads that they're selling to them. I see mortgage companies buying leads from Zillow. By the way, Bruce Woodburn, the loan arranger, I do not buy Zillow leads. I don't buy Trigger leads. I don't do anything to compromise my client's data. Period. That is my solemn swear to you. I don't do it.
Bruce, I got an email here. Somebody asking about, we got some people, tough part about getting a house right now. If you have one to sell, sometimes you've got to go buy the other one. Because the people won't, I'm not taking too many contracts contingent on the closing, like in a normal market.
Almost none.
And so you're competing against 10 offers, you might not be able to get that done. So, but you've got something out there that can help. So I've got somebody, they go buy a house. You qualify them to buy without selling. They're going to close on that house in 60 days. I get their other house up on the market. They're going to sell that. And hopefully I'll get it done before. But if I don't, and let's say they're going to have another $200,000 coming in later on, and you got them a mortgage for $350,000, they can recast with you. Tell people
you
what
can.
that is.
I've got a recasting ability. So let's just kind of put that in perspective. You're buying a house for $400,000. You've got a house that's worth $300,000, but you got $100,000 in equity in the house. But you don't have that money to put down on the new one. But we got enough money where you could put, say, 5% down on the new one. But that's not what you wanted to do because the payment might be higher than you wanted. Now you're paying PMI. But I'm like, dude, you're sitting on $100,000 worth of equity. Let's just buy the house you want, move in and close on that one. Then you can properly sell the other one without stress and making mistakes. And then you can take that $100,000 you profited on the one you sold and apply it toward the one I just closed on. But when you typically apply more money to a loan you've already got, all it does is go right toward principal, and your loan's going to pay off early, right? But I will recast that so your payments are now in proportion to what your new balance is. And that's a recast. You call me on that at 407-250-9144, and I'll help you with that. 407-250-9144, or WeBringYouHome.com. If you want to reach Cleve and his team, he can be reached at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118, or CleveLoveland.com. We got about 4 minutes left.
I want to talk about one of the biggest things out there. There's TV shows about it. It's one of the things that costs people more money than anything, lost money, and it's hoarding. Okay. You ever watched Hoarders?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I've walked into some of those houses. And
you have.
And that's not the common. I don't see it a lot. But I will go into some of those houses, and I'm like, good Lord, we got to have an estate sale. And if it's not going with you, throw it away.
But even if they're not hoarders, because that's almost
extreme. Well, not that extreme.
That's an extreme. But
I see a lot of stuff.
You have let's call you clutterers, okay?
And Dave Lowe with estatesales.com will get rid of that stuff.
Estatesalesinflorida.com, I think it is, isn't it?
Estate Sales Orlando.
Orlando.
We'll give out his number in a bit. But
call
me, and I'll get you in touch with him. But he's cleaned up so many houses, and I've sent him into some hoarder houses. And like literally within 3 weeks, they are empty, gone, cleaned
well, you know
up,
what?
And the seller's got a big check.
If you're going to get top dollar for your house, don't you want your house to look like the model home over at Hanover Family Builders?
It's not hard, yeah.
Like they didn't design that home and not put a bunch of junk in it to make their house worth more value.
Yeah, we've got to stage the house, and that's why I've got a good checklist on that. And getting the house set up to do that is just important that you neutralize the home so the buyer can see themselves in it, not what you've been doing for the past 15 years.
Right.
So, and your stuff is just, it doesn't help. And it's okay if one bedroom's full of boxes, packed up, ready to go for the move. But we got to be able to walk through the garage. We got to see the floor plan of the house.
Also, animals. We love our pets. You're a big pet owner. I got pets, but you cannot have pet odors or pets that are going to interfere with the sale of your home. It will cost you money, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
No matter what, it's going to cost you money if you don't eliminate that.
All right. If you need to reach me, Cleve Loveland, just remember, up and down your street, one of those rooftops you're looking at, I probably helped sell it. I helped buy it, or my family did before me, or we manage it as an investment property. You can always call me at 407-352-8118. I'll be working this whole Labor Day weekend.
It's a beautiful Labor Day weekend. Gorgeous. I want you to know that you've always got a team that's here to help you buy your next home or refinance. If you're out this weekend with your real estate agent, or you're out looking at houses, or you're out talking to builders, call my team. Let me get you qualified so that when you do decide to make an offer on a home, that it goes smoothly for you and you get a great rate. Don't fall for this sucker stuff all over the interweb. It's just a lure. Don't get tricked. Use a local guy. I'm at the corner of Fairbanks and I-4. I've been here for 20 years. I got a great reputation. You can Google search me. You can Zillow search me. My rankings are top notch. 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144. Or just go to my website at WeBringYouHome.com. That's WeBringYouHome.com. And while you're there, go ahead and register for Cleve and I's wealth building class that we're going to be having next October. And I'll be having a construction perm class. And this month, guess what else I'm teaching? I'm teaching how to use video, email, and technology to reach more clients. Now, I designed this for real estate agents. I use it myself in my business. I've mastered the art of video emails, and I want to teach you. So if you're listening to this show and you're not in the mortgage business and you're not in the real estate business, you can still join my video class. I only have 100 seats available, but I'll show you how you can improve your customer retention by using video email, because here's the fact. Nobody's reading your emails anymore. They're not reading them. Okay, so I'll show you that. Just go to WeBringYouHome.com. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of Cleve Loveland and the Loan Arranger Radio Show.